welcome back for another ride along. This time I decided to head out with some of the Grit girls and we did a little loop of Derby. This route is there for anyone to do, it's not something I've specifically made. Here in the UK we have the National Cycle Network, which connects lots of different places via these routes, which are usually on quieter roads or bike-specific paths. But alongside that, in cities and towns, we have what regional routes, which is what this route is. So if you are in Derby or you visit Derby, you'll see signs for 66, and that's this route. What I really like is that it's a mix of everything, so it's suitable for any ability, any bike. You can join it at any point as well, because it loops through and joins up lots of different estates around the city. The weather in the UK has been a bit miserable, to say the least, the past few weeks, so it was really nice that the sun decided to make an appearance, albeit brief. It's amazing what a bit of sun can do for everyone's moods, and I'd had a pretty dire week at work, so I kind of ummed and ahed if I really wanted to do this ride, but I'm really glad that I forced myself to get out and do it, because actually I had quite a lot of fun. It's not the most of routes, but being able to connect those green spaces with these sort of quieter estates was really nice. You kind of forget that you're still in a city at some points without, to go through the city centre, which was really nice. The route in total is 24 miles, which might seem quite a lot to some people starting out, but actually, apart from one quite intense climb at the beginning of the route, the rest of it's fairly straightforward and I think is probably doable for most people. There's plenty of opportunities to get off and push and things like that if that's what you prefer to do, so it's really nice that it's accessible in that way. It does take you along this busy road, which does feel a little bit scary with no barrier there, but the path feels wide enough that you can kind of spin yourself over a little bit. All the trees were in blossom too, which made things feel very nice and calm. Everything felt really green, which was a nice change. We didn't really see many other cyclists on the route, but there was a lot of other people using it, so I think people in that area probably use it quite a lot to connect to different places. I think it would be nice to see more cyclists use it, but I'm not sure people really know about the loop, which is a shame. Maybe it's that their cycling infrastructure is a bit confusing to some people, or they feel like it's not safe. I'm not sure. I don't know, maybe you can let me know in the comments if you watch this and feel like there's some bits that maybe aren't quite right. I always wonder how our infrastructure varies across different countries. Obviously you've got the big standouts like Denmark and the Netherlands, which do it perfectly, I'm sure, but how does that differ? Do they still have these kind of routes, or is it big routes? I'd be interested to find out. sometimes you lose the route a little bit and it kicks you out onto a road, but you don't know if you're supposed to rejoin the road or if you're supposed to go along the pavement like we did there. Some bits are a little bit misleading like that, but for the most part, quite well signposted, so you don't need to have a GPS to do it. You can just follow along. I had just in case we did get lost, but I think a lot of other people would be just fine with the signs. I found since doing these videos, I pay attention more to what's happening around me. I'm sort of more conscious of if there's something that catches my eye, do I want to stop and have a look at it and things like that. I'm quite a slow cyclist, so I always stop and take pictures of things. If I'll say hello to a cow or say hi to the sheep and things like that. But when I'm doing these videos, especially on like these kind of rides, I know there's only 2 other people, but I feel a bit conscious of having to stop and take videos of things that maybe they think is a bit weird or they don't quite understand. I'm sure that'll go away in time, but yeah, I still feel a little bit anxious in that sense, so you do have to look at my Mr. Tick alarms for the majority of this video, so I am sorry. Maybe the next video you'll get more of my things and less of my arms. One thing I found really interesting was that a lot of the signs here, especially in cities, they have they don't say the distance to a certain place, they say it in time. So it's like 8 minutes to get from this point to so and so. And I always wonder who creates that time or who checks that time is accurate, because I'm not sure it took us the time that it said on a lot of them. I'd love to explore more routes around places like this. I think that city riding, for me personally, is a bit scary. I think like we're sort of based between Derby and Nottingham, so Nottingham has some really nice cycling infrastructure, but the outskirts of it are a little bit hit and miss, and I think that's to sort of the affluence of the area, if you want to call it that, and how much money gets put into that area specifically. I think it's like that everywhere, but I'd be somewhere where a city has the same value of infrastructure around the whole city. I realised as well while I was out on my bike that I haven't done it in a while, and I found it really hard to get out of that almost that winter rut that people have, where you kind of you lack that motivation to move. And I know that that's normal, and I know that that's the thing that a lot of people experience, but for me, I found, especially this beginning of this year, it's been really difficult to like pull myself out of it, with varying factors of work and travel and things like that. I find it really difficult, and I get kind of envious of people that are able to ride their bikes every day. I work from home, so I don't commute anymore, whereas I used to commute on my bike, not necessarily every day, but at least a couple of times a week. Amazing the difference that has on your fitness and your mindset on things. Like, if I finish work now, I move from the desk upstairs to the sofa downstairs, and it's hard to shake that thing of, right, I've got to get out now, because there was washing up to do, or there's laundry to do, or various bits and pieces that you see around the house that you feel like you must get done. Whereas when you commute, you've got that, even if it's just 15 minutes, you've got that 15 minutes in the morning to disconnect from home life, ready for work. And the same when you go home, it's a nice break. And sometimes I miss it, sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. So these little weekend rides, even though this was just a couple of hours and just with a couple of people, it was really good, and I really, really needed it. I don't know, maybe other people feel the same way, and I appreciate that everyone experiences things differently. Coming along again. If you enjoyed a jaunt around Derby, if you're in Derby or around the area, let me know if you give this route a go and tell me what you think of it. And I will see you on the next one.